Uso just drew a line in the sand, and the entire tag division is about to explode. What happened on Raw that has everyone talking? What's up, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest moments in WWE. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss the action. Today, we're diving into the chaos that unfolded on January 14th's Monday Night Raw, where tag team tensions reached a boiling point. Alright, let's set the scene. Monday Night Raw has been on fire lately with tag team action, and last night was no exception. The tag division is more competitive than it's been in years, and everyone wants their shot at gold. Now, before we get into the drama, let's talk about where we are right now. The tag team championships are the most prestigious prize in the division, and everyone is gunning for them. You've got established teams, you've got new alliances, and you've got hungry competitors who believe this is their moment. Enter Akira Tozawa and Chad Gable. Wait, scratch that. Otis and Akira Tozawa. Yes, you heard that right. These two have been forming an unlikely partnership over the past few weeks, and they've been building momentum. Otis, the powerhouse who can ragdoll opponents like they're nothing, paired with Tozawa's high-flying, never-say-die attitude. On paper, it's an interesting combination. In the ring, they've been proving they belong in the conversation. But here's where it gets interesting. These two decided last night was their night to make a statement. They didn't just want a match. They didn't just want an opportunity. They demanded a tag team championship match, and they did it in the most direct way possible. And standing in their way? None other than Jey Uso, one half of one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, and a man who has fought tooth and nail to establish himself as a singles competitor and a tag team specialist. So here's how it all went down. Picture this: Raw is in full swing, the crowd is electric, and Otis and Tozawa make their way to the ring with purpose. You could see it in their eyes. This wasn't just another appearance. This was about making a statement. Tozawa grabs the microphone first, and in his passionate, energetic way, he starts talking about how he and Otis have been overlooked for too long. He's talking about how they've paid their dues, how they've been grinding week after week, and how they deserve their shot at championship gold. The crowd is actually getting behind them because, let's be honest, who doesn't love an underdog story? Then Otis takes the mic, and in his unique style, he backs up everything Tozawa said. He's talking about how they're done waiting in line. They're done watching other teams get opportunities while they're left on the sidelines. And then he drops the bombshell: they're not asking for a title shot. They're demanding one. Right here, right now, they want management to give them what they've earned. The crowd is buzzing. Some fans are cheering because they love the confidence. Others are wondering if these two are biting off more than they can chew. But before anything can be resolved, the music hits. And out comes Jey Uso. Now, Jey has been on an absolute tear lately. He's been proving that he's not just riding on family legacy. He's carving out his own path, his own legacy, and he's been doing it with an intensity that demands respect. When he walks out, you can feel the energy shift. This is a man who has been through wars, who has held championships, who knows what it takes to be at the top. Jey gets in the ring, and he doesn't waste time with pleasantries. He looks at Otis and Tozawa, and you can see the intensity in his eyes. He gets right to the point. Y'all want a title shot? Y'all think you deserve to be in that conversation? Then you better understand what you're stepping into. This is where Jey Uso delivers that stern warning we've been talking about. He tells them that the tag team division isn't about just showing up and demanding opportunities. It's about earning them. It's about proving night after night that you belong at that level. He talks about the sacrifices, the battles, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into being a champion. But here's the thing that makes this so compelling: Jey isn't dismissing them entirely. He's not saying they don't have talent. He's saying they need to prove they're ready for that level of competition. He's essentially telling them, if you want this, show me you can handle it. The tension in the arena is thick. Otis and Tozawa aren't backing down. They're standing their ground, making it clear they're not intimidated. And just when you think things are about to explode into a physical confrontation, management makes a decision. So what does this all mean for the tag team division moving forward? Let me break this down for you, because this is bigger than just one confrontation. First, let's talk about Otis and Tozawa. This team is fascinating because they represent something we don't always see: evolution. Otis has been reinventing himself, showing different dimensions to his character. Tozawa has been a consistent performer who's never given up despite setbacks. Together, they're proving that persistence and chemistry can create something special. Their demand for a title shot shows they're confident, maybe even a little cocky, but confidence isn't a bad thing in WWE. The greatest champions have always had that unshakable belief in themselves. The question is, can they back it up when the pressure is really on? Now, Jey Uso's warning isn't just about protecting his position or the integrity of the championship scene. It's about legacy. Jey comes from the most decorated tag team family in WWE history. The Uso family name carries weight. When Jey talks about what it takes to be a champion, he's not speaking theoretically. He's speaking from experience, from reality. His warning serves multiple purposes. 1. It's a reality check for Otis and Tozawa. 2. It's a message to the entire tag division that you can't just skip the line. And 3. It's Jey establishing himself as a locker room leader, someone who will speak up and maintain standards. But here's what makes this storyline so engaging: both sides have valid points. Otis and Tozawa do deserve opportunities if they're performing well. But Jey's right that you have to prove you're ready for the biggest stage. This creates natural drama, natural conflict that doesn't feel forced. The tag team division benefits from this kind of competition. When you have multiple teams believing they deserve to be at the top, it elevates everyone. It creates more compelling matches, more intense rivalries, and ultimately, better entertainment for us as fans. We might see a scenario where Otis and Tozawa have to go through a series of qualifying matches. Maybe they have to beat established teams to prove their worth. Or perhaps management sets up a #1 contenders tournament. Whatever direction they go, this confrontation has set the stage for must-see television in the coming weeks. Now let's talk about how the WWE Universe is reacting to all of this, because social media has been buzzing. A lot of fans are actually getting behind Otis and Tozawa. There's something appealing about a team that's willing to speak up for themselves, that's willing to demand what they think they deserve. In a landscape where we sometimes see the same matchups repeatedly, fresh challengers are always welcome. The chemistry between these two has been surprisingly good. Otis brings the power game, the ability to hit devastating moves that can change a match in an instant. Tozawa brings the speed, the agility, and an arsenal of high-impact offense that can catch opponents off guard. That contrast in styles can make for really exciting tag team wrestling. On the flip side, Jey Uso has massive support because of his credibility. Fans respect that he's not taking shortcuts, that he's speaking from a place of experience. When a former multi-time tag team champion tells you what it takes to succeed, you listen. Jey has proven himself time and time again, both alongside his family and on his own. What's really interesting is seeing fans debate whether this will lead to a match between Jey Uso and the team of Otis and Tozawa. Would Jey need to find a partner? Would this become a storyline where Jey has to prove his point in the ring? These are the questions that have people talking, theorizing, and staying engaged with the product. Some fans are even fantasy booking potential outcomes. What if Otis and Tozawa actually win a title shot and then shock everyone by capturing the championships? What kind of story would that tell? Or what if they fall short, but the journey makes them even stronger, leading to a redemption arc down the line? This is the beauty of professional wrestling storytelling. One confrontation can spin off into multiple directions, creating weeks or even months of compelling television. And right now, the tag team division feels alive with possibility. So where do we go from here? Let's talk about what we might see in the coming weeks on Monday Night Raw. First scenario: management could book Otis and Tozawa in a #1 contenders match against another established team. This would be their opportunity to put their money where their mouth is. If they win, they get their title shot. If they lose, they go back to the drawing board and continue building. Second scenario: we could see Jey Uso get more involved in the tag team scene. Maybe he finds a partner and they face Otis and Tozawa in a showcase match. This would allow Jey to back up his warning with action, showing these young competitors exactly what championship-level competition looks like. Third scenario, and this is the spicy one: what if other tag teams start getting involved? What if established teams see Otis and Tozawa jumping the line and decide they're not going to stand for it? This could create a multi-team rivalry where everyone is fighting to prove they deserve to be next in line for the titles. The tag team championships themselves are in an interesting position right now. The current champions have been doing great work, but a division is only as strong as its challengers. Having multiple credible teams vying for opportunities makes those titles mean more. It creates an environment where every title defense feels important, where every challenger presents a legitimate threat. I also think we need to watch how this affects the overall dynamics of Raw. Are we going to see more tag teams forming? Will singles competitors start looking for partners to get in on this suddenly hot division? Sometimes one angle can spark a creative renaissance for an entire portion of the roster. And let's not forget about the wild cards. WWE loves to surprise us. There could be returning teams, NXT Call UPS, or unexpected partnerships that emerge from this storyline. The tag team division has always been at its best when it's unpredictable and when it features a diverse array of teams with different styles and personalities. Suplex Rumble family, January 14. TH's Monday Night Raw gave us exactly the kind of drama that makes tag team wrestling compelling. Otis and Tozawa threw down the gauntlet with their demand for a title shot. Jey Uso responded with a stern warning that came from a place of experience and respect for the business. And now, the entire tag team division is on notice that things are about to get very interesting. This is the kind of storytelling that keeps us coming back week after week. Real emotions, real stakes, and competitors who genuinely believe they deserve to be at the top. What do you think? Do Otis and Tozawa deserve their title shot, or do they need to prove themselves first? Is Jey Uso right to issue his warning, or is he gatekeeping the division? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I love hearing your perspectives. If you enjoyed this breakdown, show some love with a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we break down the biggest moments in WWE. Share this video with your wrestling friends because we need to get everyone talking about this. I'm your host, and this has been Suplex Rumble. Until next time, keep the wrestling conversation going, stay passionate about this incredible business, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.